correspondence at kermodeandmayo.com. What else is out?
Rye Lane. Rye Lane is the debut feature from Rain Allen Miller, who became the Toast of Sundance in January. This is like a very modern, streetwise rom-com. I had the pleasure of interviewing her on stage, and at one point she said this thing she said, look, it's just a story about two people having a lovely day together. Well, it kind of is, but it so isn't. The two central characters are played by David Johnson and Vivian Apara, and they are Yaz and Dom. They meet when he is crying in the toilets of an art gallery because he's broken up with his girlfriend and he's completely beside himself. And she bangs on the door and says, are you all right? And he says, do you mind? This is the gents. She says, no, it's not. This is a gender-neutral toilet. And he goes, well, this is private. And he goes, it's not that private. They meet cute, it's a meet cute setup. And they then spend a period of time together, the rest of the day, walking and talking about their lives, confronting their past. She has recently broken up with her boyfriend, who's a pretentious artist. And she says the reason that she broke up with him is because he's the kind of person that would never wave at boats on the Thames. She says there are two kind of people. People who, when people on boats wave at you, the rule is you have to wave back to them. Then you are exactly fine.
Am I okay?
It's lovely. But what's lovely is that you said yes in that way that it was like, yes, you got that immediately. And to the kind of people that won't do that, that's never going to work out all right. They both have issues with their exes. They both have stories to tell. They walk through, and it's basically, Brixton, South Bank, Peckham, really sort of beautifully chosen locations. I mean, really sort of lovingly chosen locations. And as they walk, they talk. Here's a clip.
So what do you do now you've escaped the clutches of the Colonel? Like with your post-KFC life?
Oh, I'm an accountant.
Boring! Okay. No free popcorn chicken, but still, that's like a proper job.
Yeah, it's not particularly glamorous.
No.
I actually kind of love it.
So is that what you've always wanted to do, or have you got yourself some thwarted ambition burning away in your gut?
You're very...
Peng? Refreshingly disarming?
You ask a lot of questions.
I'm interested in people's messes.
What makes you think I've got a mess?
Everyone has a mess. Hi.
Now, the thing that you see from that, firstly, that lovely sort of flowing tone of the way the dialogue works, but also from looking at that clip, if you saw it on the screen, the colours are very primary. There's like reds and greens and pinks and blues, and they're very kind of colour coordinated. And it has, this seems like a strange comparison, but the way in which the locations are shot reminded me to some extent of the way of Antonioni's Blow Up, in which every single thing about the locations is very strictly color-coded, but it's also meant to look kind of accidental, as if he hasn't gone out of his way to do that. What I love about this is, firstly, the script is very sharp, and the script is written by, excuse me while I just get this in front of me, Nathan O'Brien and Tom Elliott. And the script has a kind of Richard Curtis-like rom-com feel to it. And if you ever do a London location rom-com, you're always going to be compared to Richard Curtis. The film confronts that head on, because there is one scene in which they go to a burrito joint called Love Guactually.
Oh, good.
Which I thought was really, really nicely done. It's like a way of going, yeah, okay, fine. The way in which the camera moves around them and kind of flows around them, it's almost like dance. And in that scene, as they walked past, there's a piano with the keyboard open, and she just runs her hand up the piano, and it's like it's always on the brink of, perhaps it's going to turn into a musical. Actually, there are karaoke scenes. There is also a sequence in which someone sings "Sign Your Name" at a barbecue, which is really, really weird. And although there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of it is to do with the way that they move around each other, the way that, you saw that as they were walking together, she was almost sort of walking around him like it was a dance move. Yeah. And I was enchanted by it. I loved the fact that it felt like it had a location. It's got a kind of visual cheekiness that's very reminiscent in some sequences of Peep Show, but it also has that kind of before sunrise, before sunset thing that the Linklater movies have got, that in a compact period of time, two people learn an awful lot about each other, and you sort of realise that there's something magical about the connection that they've made. It's uplifting and charming, and the characters are sharp. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. There's a lovely thing about a photographer who takes very close-up pictures of people's mouths. He says it's the Stonehenge of the face, which is a terrific line. And it's right now, you kind of feel like you want to go to the cinema and see something that will put a spring in your step, and a song in your heart, and also make you think, you know what? We're making great movies. We're making really great movies. And I think this is exactly that kind of film. It's a real crowd pleaser, and it's had rapturous responses from critics, and I think rightly so. So I think Alan Miller is a really sort of great new talent, and I think we'll be seeing much more of her in the future. David Johnson, of course, people will know anyway. Vivian Oparah is terrific, and I thought the movie it was great. So yeah, it's called Rye Lane. Go and see it. It's a really uplifting thing, and right now, hey, I tell you what, take your mother to see it.
Oh, okay, yes. Take your mother to Rye Lane.
Doesn't work, does it?
Maybe that works.
But it's like, if it's that or 80 for Brady, maybe Pearl. I mean, maybe your mother would enjoy Pearl as well.
Very few mothers would enjoy it.
But no, it's really, really good.
Thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. While you're here, check out all the other videos because they're cool too, aren't they?
Yeah, and if you want to keep up to date with everything Kermode and Mayo's take, then check out our social channels.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, I would. I have done.
Excellent.